right-hand side, left-hand side, all the way around the boat. The dolphins, ladies and gentlemen, actually have the ability to dial up their underwater sonar to such a high pitch or frequency that they've actually been recorded stunning fish underwater. Now, how do they do this? Well, in reality, this is a sound pulse that the dolphins can generate from the melon portion of their head. It shoots out underwater and it's received back to them by tiny little receptors. Their lower jaw or chin, actually it's their teeth. See, their teeth are actually offset into two distinct rows in their lower jaw. So they actually pick up this sound pulse, if you will, in stereo. Guys, as we slide down to the point here, just keep going through dolphin after dolphin after dolphin. How many dolphins do you think you're looking at today, guys? 1, 2, 3, 10? I'd say you're up to about 50 so far, believe it or not. Now, how can you tell? It's hard to count them, isn't it? But believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, it was actually one of our local dolphins back in 1990 that actually taught us how to count the dolphins. We were stopped looking at a group of dolphins, and we saw this one guy there. He was pretty unusual. Now, we thought he was unusual because he had the top 50% of his dorsal fin chopped off. This made it very easy for us to recognize him. So we nicknamed him Sharpie. So we were looking at Sharpie this one day with 4 of his buddies swimming along with him. All of a sudden, all 5 dolphins then went underwater. Well, we had another 5 dolphins come up. There was no Sharpie. Another 5, no Sharpie. Another 5, no Sharpie. So finally, on the 5th surfacing, there was Sharpie with his 4 buddies. And that's when we learned that for every 1 dolphin you see up on top, there's at least 5 down below. More dolphins just up ahead. This is Cape May Point, the southernmost tip of the state of New Jersey. Any farther south and you'll get wet. About 10 miles across on the right-hand side is Lewis, Delaware. On the left-hand side, the white building here with a red roof. That's St. Mary's by the Sea. It's a Sisters Summer Retreat. Now, this was actually built by John Wanamaker back in 1890 as the Shoreham Hotel. He then turned around and sold it to the Sisters of St. Joseph in 1909 for the sum of $9,000. Today, the sisters enjoy watching the sun rise over the Atlantic Ocean and set over the Delaware Bay. Back behind St. Mary's, you can see the famous Cape May Lighthouse. It's the 3rd lighthouse to be built here on the same site. The first 2, they were lost to the sea. 3rd and final lighthouse, built back in 1859, stands 157.5 feet tall. Now, she's 199 steps up to the top, and it houses a 350,000 candle power light bulb visible at sea, 19 miles on a clear night. MAC, the Mid-Atlantic Center for the Arts, co-sponsor of this trip, has received well over $2 million in grant money to rebuild the light. So far, they've managed to redo the oil house, the lantern section, and the tower in its original sand tone color. Today, for the small donation of $7, you can make the 199-step climb up to the top for a beautiful panoramic view of Cape May and its surrounding waters. More dolphins, right and left-hand side. That little calf get out on the left-hand side, guys, about maybe 6 weeks old. ahead of us on the left-hand side, got them on the right-hand side. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've told you an awful lot of information about the dolphins in a very, very short period of time, and we certainly do not expect you guys to remember everything that we've told you. However, what's the single most important thing we can tell you today? More important than anything else. Well, how about where are we? By the way, where are we? Well, you're out in the Atlantic Ocean, right? No doubt about it. What's the big deal? It's where the dolphins are. You see, dolphins out in the wild like this can live 45 to 50 years. However, the dolphins that you see held in captivity in a marine mammal park show, well, that's a whole other ballgame. If you don't remember anything else from today's outing, please try to remember this one statistic. For every one dolphin that you see held in captivity, there's been at least 3 captured. Now, the first 2, they're going to die within the first 90 days of capture. The last one, lucky guy that you get to see, he might make it to the ripe old age of around 5. That's it. So what are we getting at? Quite simply put, ladies and gentlemen, whether you're on this boat or somebody else's boat, that's not quite as important as the big picture. The big picture, of course, being the well-being of the fins. This is where they belong, ladies and gentlemen, living out their lives the way that the Creator intended them to live. Not trapped in some concrete tank, swimming in endless circles in chlorinated water. That'll make them go blind eventually, and then they'll die off from some other eye-related diseases. No way, gang. This is the way you want to see them, right out here in the wild. Hey, don't get me wrong, we're not against zoos. Zoos are great for a lot of different animals. There's just one problem. You see, dolphins, they just don't happen to be one of those animals. Dolphins do not do well in captivity. It's a proven fact. Anybody on board old enough to remember the original television series Flipper? Back in the 60s and the 70s, Bud Sandy, Ranger Ricks, Pelican Pete and the gang. How many different dolphins do you think used to play Flipper? How about 5 different dolphins? So they kept dying off, they just kept replacing them. Well, Flipper's trainer was actually a guy by the name of Richard O'Barry. Richard O'Barry actually went from being the foremost dolphin trainer in the nation to becoming the most outspoken advocate of freedom for all dolphins that are held in captivity all over the world. Even to the point where he used to get himself locked up on a regular basis for letting the boys out. That little calf on the left-hand side just popped again, all by himself.
That baby there.
What's Flipper?
Flipper was a dolphin in a TV show 40 years ago.
All right, guys, I'm going to sneak offshore here. Kids on board, young and old, it's always good luck to wave goodbye to Flipper. So be here next time when you come back to Sam. We're out of here. Back, right? Well, guess what? So do the fins. Got some back behind us here. We got a group on the left-hand side just went down. You got another group dead ahead of us coming our way. Everybody's coming this way. Kind of throw the brakes on here and sit. Everybody ought to swim right into us.
Yeah.
Left-hand side swimming away, right-hand side coming to you. Coming, but they're certainly not in a hurry. What are the dolphins doing right now, guys? Well, they're chasing fish. They're having a little sushi for lunch. Dolphins live and hunt and work in a cooperative community, and they use cooperative hunting techniques to gather their fish. You'll usually have two of the larger dolphins, known as century dolphins and or centurions, go off to gather a large school of fish back to the main pod of dolphins. Patience, patience, patience. Now, when a female dolphin first becomes pregnant for the very first time, she'll actually swim back to the matriarchal pod from where she was born, so that when she goes to give birth, her mom's there, grandmother's there, sometimes even her great-grandmother. That's right, we've actually been able to prove lineage. Now, when she does go to give birth, she's going to be assisted in this birthing process by, for lack of a better phrase, a midwife. Now, this midwife's job is to help in the birthing of a newborn calf. Should anything ever go wrong during the birthing procedure, this midwife has actually been known to take over all child-rearing activities, even to the point of becoming a wet nurse if necessary. Now, when she does finally give birth, she's going to give birth to a calf around 18 inches in length. It'll be jet black in coloration and have small creases or folds in its side. These are called fetal folds, plus its dorsal fin will be totally bent over to one side, either right or left. All this from living within the fetal cavity for the past 12 months. That's right, ladies, I just said 12 months, not 9, 12. Now, after she gives birth, this is not the end of the relationship, not at all. You see, in reality, this is just the beginning of a new phase of the relationship, because now she's going to become the nursing mom and nurse this calf for the next 12 months. And when she's done nursing the calf, then she's going to become the teacher. Teach the calf all the ways of the dolphin world, including hunting, fishing, and yes, even mating. Slide up there a little bit, guys. Back behind us here, guys. We got a group on the right-hand side. We got two groups up ahead here. Give a chance, guys. Got a few guys up here on the left-hand side, up in front of us here, and we should have everybody gathering up behind us here close. Now, dolphins eat about 20 pounds of fish a day. Oh, wait, what are we looking at? Dolphins or porpoise, and what's the difference? Well, dolphins have a beak which sticks out the front of their head, makes them appear as though they're always smiling, and they have cone-shaped teeth. Whereas porpoise have a blunt head with spade-shaped teeth. Today you're looking at Atlantic bottlenose dolphins, that's right.